Eto na! Eto na mga kameta! Kamusta kayo dyan? Maaga na naman nagsimula yung araw natin. Kamusta yung mga troll natin? Alam nyo na, yung mga troll na yan, walang yan. Chinek namin kanina. Mukhang fake account pala yung mga yan. Binalak pa yata tayo ng isa. Pero yung mga yan no room for trolls dito! Except kung, tutulong kayo sa engagement level natin, wala tayong problema dyan. Pero maayos kayo dito. This is gonna be a safe space, so we have to draw the line para everyone feels safe, everyone feels encouraged to contribute sa conversation. Alright, ito mga kameta. Mukhang may development tayo dito sa isa sa mga maraming kaso, no? Or maraming potentially mga kaso laban sa dating Presidenteng Digong. Yan. Yung mga DDS natin dyan, kamusta ang buhay ngayon? Kamusta? Medyo hindi ata kasing happy times nang before Yan ang sinasabi natin Kaya while you're in power, ito talaga, mga kamets. Okay, ito. Alright, so mukhang may development tayo dun sa isa sa mga kaso laban kay former President Rodrigo Duterte. Ito po yung kaso niyang isang kongresista who accused, of course, the former president of, kind of threatening her, etc. So, ito yung breaking kanina. So, yung isang Quezon City prosecutor, nag-summon po siya. Sinamon niya si Digong to attend December 4 and 11 probe dun sa QC Prosecutor's Office at para mag-submit ng counter affidavit dun sa grave threats complaint na sinampa ni Representative Franz Castro. Ayan, okay. The difference of course is, yung isa wala ng immunity. Yung isa ay nasa gobyerno ngayon. Ayan. Yan talaga sinasabi natin. Sabi nga ni Erap, weather lang yan. Kaya, yun kasi. Once you're given the mandate by the Filipino people, do it right. Use that mandate for the right cause. Hindi bara-bara, hindi abuso, hindi pa feeling dictator, palpak naman, di ba? Yan ang nangyari sa atin Alright. So, this is the first time that a subpoena has been issued versus Duterte since he stepped down from office. So, medyo ibang usapan na po, may subpoena na po. Naalala ko back in the day po, nung nagsulat po tayo, ilabas sa atin mga sarili natin drama. Nung nagsulat po tayo ng blank column, inspired by Conrad de Quiros, among others as a protest column. Isa sa mga ni tatay dyan na hinaharas tayong legally, pinapa tayo. So I had to respond to that. Pinagalitan ko pa yung mga nandun sa loob. Huwag kayo mag-legal harass ng mga katangahan na ganyan. Alright. Anyway, okay, so this is not a joke. Alright, pag may subpoena na, talagang ibang usapan na to. Alright, mga kameta. So hindi ito mga pakit-pakit lang. Ito ay isang seryosong bagay, no? So, ito po kanina, no? So, ito yung subpoena. Ayan talaga. Ipopost natin dyan sa baba. Ito. Actually, may picture tayo dito para makita niyo mga kameta. Sorry, hindi ko na dala yung isang laptop ko na may OBS. Medyo mabigat-bigat kasi itong mga laptop natin. So, kinukuha lang natin yung mga magaan. Gaan pie! Yan, ilabas lang natin sa subpoena ito para makita niyo naman mga kamets. I-post natin dyan. No, this is big development kasi kagabi lang, ayan, walang tulugan. Kagabi lang, pinag-usapan natin na si Senator Leila de Lima could be the next one to file a case against President Duterte and yung mga kanyang tormentors throughout that more than 6 years na she spent behind bars on very, very questionable charges. Now, balikan natin ito. So, ito mga kameta, ito po yung subpoena. Alright, ito po yung subpoena. Takot ako bigla. Ayan na, medyo, Okay. Under and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the revised charter of Quezon City and office existing laws, respondents, ayan, tatay, are hereby commanded to appear before the office of the City Prosecutor Justice Cecilia Munoz Palma Building, Department of Justice, Elliptical Road, Quezon City, on the following date and time, 2:30 p.m. Abangan yan, mga kameta. Abangan na. Yan na, tambay tayo dyan. December 4 and December 11, 2:30 p.m. Boom! In connection with the preliminary investigation of the above and listed case, for the purpose of submitting your counter affidavit, including affidavits of your witnesses and supporting documents, if any, The counter affidavit, together with the annexes and the affidavits of witnesses, shall be 8 copies and shall be subscribed and sworn to before me. In addition, the and in addition, of course, ito yung mga, they have been asked to submit a photocopy of their government issues identification card as proof of their identity. Ayan, si tatay, di na presidente. Ayan. The complainants and their witnesses, if any, are likewise directed to reaffirm before the undersigned on the same date the veracity and truthfulness of the allegations in their given statement. No motion to dismiss shall be entertained. Ito yung mahalaga mga kameta. No motion to dismiss shall be entertained. Only counter affidavits shall be admitted. Otherwise, respondents are deemed to have waived the right to present evidence. Furthermore, no postponement shall be granted unless for exceptionally meritorious grounds. Ayan na, ilabas na yung mga alam na yan. Abangan natin mga next moves dyan. Ayan ha, no motion to dismiss shall be entertained at no postponement shall be granted unless, biglang nandiyan na yung mga neck brace, nandiyan yung mga wheelchair. Okay. Wherefore, fail not at your peril. Ayan talagang parang ganito ha. Parang alam yung mga cowboy movie. Mga cowboy movie style talaga. Ayan. You follow, otherwise, lagot kayo dyan. Ayan. Okay. So ito, hindi na biro to. Alright? Witness my hand this 27th day of October 27, 2023. So ngayon na lumabas ito na nakikita natin. So this actually was signed a few weeks earlier. Pero ito na kanina nilabas ni Attorney Mike Navallo ng ABS-CBN doon sa kanyang Twitter. Ipopost natin dito sa baba. So just to give you a recap mga kamets, just to give you a recap mga kamets, what is this case all about? Para naman ma-appreciate nyo. Oh naman, Sir Eric, alam nyo na. Ilabas na. Ilabas na. Ito talaga tayo eh. Ayan talaga tayo eh. Okay. Ito. Okay. Behave. Relax. Guys, come on. This is a serious issue. Justice is at stake. Right? We care. Okay, Representative Castro sues Duterte for grave threats over dun sa mga kanyang television statement. Andiyan pa rin television na yan? Akala ko ban na yan. Di ba wala na yung mga, yung mga vloggers na host nila? Itong, natin na, CGTN Philippines. Alright, okay, ito. So, ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro. This is last month mga kameta, just barely 2 weeks ago, more than 2 weeks ago. Of course, na-interview din natin si Congresswoman Franz Castro. You can check your interviews natin. On Tuesday, filed a criminal complaint, I think Tuesday, late October pa yun, against former, last week of October, against former President Rodrigo Duterte over his alleged threats against her life, which were allegedly aired on national television and live stream online. Ayan kasi napakatalino talaga itong mga to. Accompanied by current and former Makabayan Bloc representatives and her lawyers from the movements against disinformation, Castro filed the grave threats complaint against Digong dun sa Quezon City Prosecutor Office na nag-issue ng sapina ngayon. This is the first known criminal rap filed against Duterte since he stepped down from office. Ito mga kameta, alright? Ayan na, nasisipon na tayo sa kaka-excited. I'm just kidding. Malubhang pagbabanta ito sa aking buhay dahil nagkaroon din naman ito ng epekto lalo na sa panahon ako ay kasalukuyang nagdadalamhati sa pagkamatay ng aking tatay. Doon pa niya talaga pinagbantaan ang aking buhay. Ito po yung sinabi ni Representative Franz Castro na of all times na magkakalat yung isa, ito po yung sobrang wrong timing na in the midst of grief, ito si Representative Castro. And of course, alam natin si Representative Castro has been in the midst of back and forth, with the Vice President over confidential fund. Yan talaga tayo mga kamets eh. Sorry, medyo malamig dito sa Baguio. Nasipon tayo. Ito, so actually, yung timing nito, sorry, by the way, nakikiramay po tayo kay Representative Castro. I was not aware of that. I think we interviewed her just a few weeks before, dito sa, etong tragic development na yan. So, Representative Castro was actually at her father's wake nung nakita niyo yung mga remarks ni Digong. Diba? I mean, grabe naman yung timing. Diba? In the middle of grief ka, doon ka pumupunta ka doon sa wake ng tatay mo. At tapos itong dating tatay ng mga, alam mo na, mga ganyan, ay nagkakalat na naman. At doon pa sa, may CGTN Philippines ba yan? China TV Philippines. Yun, okay. Biro lang. Wala naman kayong dyan. Okay. Ito, sabi niya, talagang na-shock po ako doon sa ginawang threat ni dating Presidente Rodrigo Duterte sa aking buhay. Talagang masakit. Parang dobleng sakit ang naramdaman ko noong panahon na yon na nakaka-receive pa ako ng nagbabanta sa aking buhay. Di ba? Grabe talaga yung style na yan. Di ba? So, doon sa October 11 episode ng kanyang TV program, TV ba yan? Meron pa silang franchise. Ibalik na kasi ng ABS-CBN na yan para policy na yung mga Ibalik na yung mga yung mga totoong television channel diyan para naman, 'di ba? Ayan tayo. Hindi, pero feeling ko malapit na yung ABS-CBN. Malapit na yan. Ayusin na rin yan. Malapit na. Papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part, mga kamets. Alright, itong Gikan sa Masa para sa Masa. Ito yung program. Quote-unquote television program ni Digong dun sa quote-unquote news channel na yan. A clip of which was shown to the media by Castro, the Duterte. Ito si Digong talagang ito. Pinag-usapan natin ni paring Ronald Llamas yan, di ba? Noong time na yan. Ito yung time na dinidefend ni Tata yung confidential fund issue. Kasi of course si Franz Castro was going against talaga etong confidential fund together with Riza Contiveros. Sila yung mga faces of opposition dito. The same way na si Estila Kimbo ay face of apologia. Alright, dito. Ito, mga kamets. Ito yung sinabi ni Digong. Sabi niya, pero ang una mong target dyan sa intelligence fund mo, kaya ikaw, Franz, kayong mga komunista, ang gusto kong, talaga. Wala, sinabi na, basahin na, ipopost ko na. I mean, this is so crazy. It's so crazy, I don't want to even read it. Talagang nakita ko na ako talaga yung tinutukoy niya doon sa kanyang programa dahil may kinalaman ito doon sa mga subjects na related doon sa ginagawa natin sa Kongre. Ito. Si Franz Castro pala itong sabi ko, bakit parang matino na yung Tagalog, maayos na magsalita. Ito yung hindi, yun yung si tatay. Tapos, so ayon naman ni Franz Castro, talagang nakita ko na ako talaga yung tinutukoy niya doon sa kanyang programa dahil may kinalaman ito doon sa mga subjects na related doon sa ginagawa natin sa Congress, and namely, interrogating itong issue ng confidential fund. Of course, in many ways, I mean, siyempre nagsulat tayo ng libro na The Rise of Duterte, no? Back in 2017, di ba? For Palgrave Macmillan. So maybe it's time to write the second part. And if I were to write the second part, kasi busy ako sa mga ibang bagay. Marami mga mas importante guys, di ba? But if I were to write the second part, probably ito yung i-connect ko na lang dun sa libro na ginagawa natin about the return of Marcoses, the junior era, no? Ito mga kameta, no? So siguro if there's really, I would say, when yung moment na the floodgates were opened, I would say ito na yan kasi parang dito na talaga the battle lines were drawn. Because I think before that, katulad ng mga discussion natin with parang Ronald, I think there was still some room to sort this out dun sa bicameral, no? O siguro natanggalan dyan sa Congress, warning shot, pwede ayusin pa sa Senado dahil may mga naman dyan sa Senado na, so baka pwede pang ayusin. But I think after this talaga, etong intervention ni Tatay in defense of his daughter, I mean, I understand where the former president is coming from. I mean, I think the former president is still coming to grips with the fact that he's not only not the president, but they're far from the dominant political faction in the Philippines anymore, right? And more importantly, yung kasalukuyan na administration, iba talaga yung kanyang vision for the country, iba talaga yung kanyang predisposition, both on foreign policy and domestic politics. And the fact that yung opposition has not been aggressively against Marcos Jr., I think gave him this sense of confidence to build a kind of a alternative unity, pushing out the Dutertes effectively, no? Now, not BBM per se, but at least yung mga kanyang lieutenants at kanyang mga top supporters, key supporters, if not de facto right hand. So, eto po, Alright, ito po yung konteksto ng analysis po natin. Ayan na naman yung mga trolls natin. Screenshot na naman yan. Roland Gohilde. Sir naman, gagawa ka ng fake account, hindi pa maayos yung ano. Tapos yung mga pagtotroll nyo, hanggang dyan na naman kayo ang pagtotroll. Para umayos naman kayo dyan. Hindi ko nakasalanan kung makinis tayo, okay? Porket kayo mga pangit kayo. Alright, eto na. Alright, ito na. Balikan natin to. Mamaya, balikan ko yung mga troll na yan. Ha? Lagot kayo sa akin, ha? Okay, umayos kayo. Hindi nyo na panahon to. 6 years na kami binuli-buli ng panahon yan. Hindi kami sumuko. Tapos ngayon pa. O, di ba? You are messing with the wrong guy. Who are you talking to? Alright, you're messing with the wrong guy. Next time, dala ako ng cigar dito. Alright, okay, malapit na. Magde-date kami ni Lola. Alright, so kailangan natin umalis. But let me wrap this up. Mga kameta, so mamayang gabi, God willing, mag-RL tayo. So we'll be joined by Ronaldo and Lisandro. Alright, so Lelo joining us from San Francisco. Of course, alam niyo naman time difference. I think 15 hours or so. So mga 11 p.m., mga ganyan yan tonight. But please wait for it kasi we're gonna discuss all angles here. But yun nga, going back to this mga kameta, I think one fundamental problem we saw is that one camp has not appreciated the fact that they're no longer in power and they're far from being the dominant faction in the ruling party. At the same time, BBM unti-unti siya nag-reorient ang kanyang foreign policy and domestic political orientation. Not Rizon Tiveros, not Lenny, but nevertheless much closer to a kind of a quote-unquote traditional liberal kind of president than a more populist authoritarian Duterte 2.0 or Marcos Sr. 2.0 kind of presidency. And then, I won't be surprised if behind the scenes mga kameta, yung mga allies natin, yung mga kaibigan natin dyan around the world are nudging the president in the right direction to slowly move in a direction that makes the Philippines a more robust democracy. Again, I think dapat wala tayong illusion, but I'm slightly optimistic that ABS-CBN franchise could be another thing that we can have a positive outlook on. Not 100%, but there are many factors. We'll discuss that later on dun sa RRL, why perhaps we can be optimistic about ABS-CBN. And then, of course, kagabi pinag-usapan din natin na etong kaso ni Franz Castro is just going to be it's going to be part of a kind of a next level litany of cases laban sa dating presidente. And as I said, if you're President Marcos Jr., your ultimate nuclear option, if we can put it, is the ICC, right? If the president clears the ICC to come in, ibang usapan niyan. But as I said, mga kameta, now of course, yung iba ngayon pinagtatawanan yung dating presidente ganun. But do not forget, Sara Duterte got more than 30 million votes. All right, and do not forget that she still has approval rating of majority of Filipinos. Do not also forget that the former president also went down with the highest rating of any president stepping down, although not as crazy high as many suspected. And then my sense is, it also had to do with some element of fear and novelty, etc. I don't think he's anymore as popular as before, and that's why dun sa mga surveys for presidential balls, hindi na mataas si Digong. In fact, even for vice presidential balls, mahirapan siya if ever he ran for the vice presidency. Anyway, so what I'm saying here is that do not also underestimate the Dutertes. They're far from, they're no longer as powerful as they used to be. I think Tatay Digong is still coming to terms with that, if ever he will. But pwede sila lumaban. And one way for them na pwedeng lumaban mga kameta is that etong mga kaso laban sa kanya, o yan, kung nag-wheelchair na, nag-cane na, ganon, that could be, I mean, of course, alam ko pagtatawanan yan, but that could actually become a rallying cry for the DDS camp, right? They're gonna say, oh, inaapi yung tatay natin, yung best president in the solar system, yung mga ganyan, pwede gumana yan eh. So, if you're President Marcos Jr., you have to be very smart about this. If you're gonna clear the ICC, first of all, you have to kind of do some spin because earlier this year, sinabi na, tapos na tayo sa ICC. And another thing that has to come here is that he has to be very sure that his camp and his coalition will do very well in the midterm elections because pwede mag-backfire yan if they clear the ICC. Nevertheless, I gave 4 reasons kagabi, so check my vlog last night, why I believe President Marcos Jr. is now reconsidering the ICC option in the ways he was not just 3 or 4 months ago. Alright? Thank you very much mga kameta. Maraming salamat. God bless. Please, wag yung mga ka-DDS dyan, huwag naman kayo magalit. 6 years na kayo in power. Di ba? Ang saya-saya, di ba? Sarap buhay, di ba? 6 years kayo in power, binubuli niyo lahat, pinapasara yung isa, pinapaano yung isa, pinapa-exile yung iba, pina-half-exile nyo naman ako noon. So, ano lang yan, weather lang yan. Alright, okay, wag naman kayo ma-hurt masyado. Kasama lang talaga yan sa politika, lalong-lalo na kung hindi kayo magaling mag long-term strategic thinking. Alright, yan kasi. Anyways, on that note, thank you very much. Thank you very much, mga kameta. I really appreciate yung mga support nyo. Nakikita ko dito, kawawa na naman yung mga vloggers dito. Ayan na naman eh. Ito kasi yung mga trolls. Mag-isip naman kayo. Mahugbog lang kayo dito pag nandito kayo sa page natin. Because, mga kameta, hindi, mabait akong tao. Pero I have zero tolerance for nonsense. Alright? Because this is supposed to be a safe space for all of us. Sa YouTube, sa Facebook, etc. It took me 3 years, mga kameta. Lumaban ako personally. Nagka-comment ako. Tuloy, ayaw na sa atin ng isang TV station bigla. Hindi ko nasasabihin, Anyway, forward, erase. Anyway, okay. Syempre, di ba? I mean, of course, if you're working in a big TV station, expectation na above the fray ka, blah, blah, blah. Paano ka naman mag-above the fray kung binababo yung demokrasya natin? Paano ka naman mag-above the fray na binababo yung page mo, di ba? Paano ka naman mag-above the fray kung binababo yung mga prinsipyo mo, mga convictions mo, mga democratic institution mo? So, lumaban ako. So, it took me 2 to 3 years of fighting back very strong against mga trolls na yan. 2018, 2019, 2020. Grabe yun. Until the tide turned. And now, talagang totally, di ba? So, yung mga trolls dyan, maayos-ayos naman kayo. Mag-isip naman kayo. You're walking into the lion's den. Alam ko, hyena kayo. No match kayo sa lions, alright? You walk into the lion's den, wala, lagot kayo kahit kasama niyo pa si Scarface. Alright? On that note, mga kameta, thank you very much. Maraming salamat. So, abangan nyo later on. Of course, i-upload pa natin yung mga ibang analysis natin, especially yung mga episodes natin with Ka-R&R. And then later tonight, God willing, itong RRL naman. Alright? Balikan natin yan. Let's look at different angles here. And let's look at also the next move for the opposition, for ABS-CBN, hindi lang ICC. And what should also BBM do? If you were to give advice to BBM, what would be our advice? So we're going to talk about all of these things. On that note, maraming salamat. Thank you very much. And really, maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga sumuporta sa atin all those years. Para naman, di ba? Para naman. Okay? Itong mga pangit na trolls na to, walang iya. Umayos kayo dyan, ha? You do not mess with me, okay? You do not mess with me. Okay, I'll go back to my, mag-date na kami ni Lola. On that note, thank you very much. God bless and talk to you soon. Salamat po.